You guys ever just have one of them days when you just don't know? You know, you see something in the news, you see something with your eyes, you know, and you just it makes you just question not everything, but like what's the point of everything? Like, you know, I get why it is and why the system is the way it is, but what's the point? You know, I mean, how do you explain it? You could work at something, work at it, work at it, work at it, work at it, work at it. And look, don't get me wrong, guys. I'm not sad, depressed, or, you know, maybe a little overwhelmed. Maybe. Okay? I've taken on quite a list of things. But that's not what I'm saying. So this isn't like, you know, feel for me, oh, please, I need attention. This is more like, you know, I'm asking, I mean, see, I pretty much think we all have the same thoughts. You know, one time or another, I believe that's one of the curses of humanity, of human beings. Random or otherwise, okay? These thoughts go through your mind, you know, they just do, you know? Sometimes I get thoughts, I'm like, well, I can't believe I just thought that. You know, wow, okay? I'll admit it. You know, what, am I the only guy on the planet? I doubt it. Okay. So, you know, and then you just start questioning things like, you know, what's the point of everything? You know, you know, if it's a game or a contest or a competition of some sort, or if the end goal is to achieve the highest point, well, realistically, no one's ever going to win. Okay, so it's pointless. Okay. For the basic, everyday, average, common folk, okay? And I don't care where you're from or where you're at in this world, okay? That concept is pointless, okay? Save for what? You know, you spend your whole life saving. I got a friend who he wants to build a house. He really does, okay? And he almost did here a while back on a piece of property because it was opportunity. But then it didn't work out for him, and I'm glad, okay? And why I'm glad is because he had time to realize that the opportunity didn't make it right for him. It was just an opportunity, okay? To make it right for him, he had to ask himself questions about himself and what he really wanted, not just the opportunity. And that's kind of what I mean. I mean, you know, we all fight and try to scratch and save, and, you know, we try to make something better, and in the end, you know, what are we achieving? What are we doing it for? Are we just going to eventually get worn down and beat out of our hopes and dreams, and, you know, we just say, okay, you know, I'll settle, okay? You know, folks, I'll tell you the truth, okay? Having a YouTube channel is not like a dream of mine. And I'm not saying that I settled to have a YouTube channel either, but it's not exactly my thing. It's not what I had in mind originally. I enjoy writing. I enjoy inventing. I enjoy things like this. Life tends to get in the way of that. But does it, or do I allow it to get in the way by what I buy into? And what I buy into seems to be rigged for everyone else, not everyone else, but only certain people to win, while everyone else scurries around picking up crumbs. I mean, I see people who, they think because they got 100 feet more property than you, or 800 more square feet than you in their house, or they drive a newer car every year, or, you know, if it doesn't say the right thing on the shirt or the hat or the t-shirt, you know, they couldn't possibly wear it because it doesn't make them stand out as achievers. But, you know, in the end, they've achieved nothing more than I have, or you have, or anybody else has. That's just the level they've achieved. It doesn't end there, and we all know it. So what's the point? What are we doing it for? I mean, at a certain point, you're young, right? And you want to taste everything. You know, you want to experience everything. Okay, you want to have fun. You know, and then slowly, you kind of buy into the family concept, into the marriage concept, and to the having kids concept. And it's all about the kids, right? And then it becomes all about your retirement, so you don't have to eat cat food, right? And it's just a system, really, when you break it down. It's a system, okay? What's the point? And I don't mean this in any kind of dark sense. Just, really, what's the point? I don't get it, okay? I've been dealing in livestock for a while, okay? And when I first started, I mean, I knew diddly, okay? And in comparison to what you can know and what I do know, I probably still know diddly, okay? But there's a few things I do know. One, nature is remarkable, okay? And nature's been doing fine without the intervention of man or man's products for a long time. So at what point do we let nature take root of itself and stop interfering because we're not really doing any good by thinking we're providing better? Can you understand where I'm going with that? So like I'm buying these chickens. Oh, and of course there's antibiotics and there's all kinds of vitamins and there's this and there's that. And there's like, really? I mean, come on. It's just an endless amount of stuff. And then you got to have the right lighting. You got to have the right size of this to keep it in. And they got to be, separated for 2 weeks or else, okay? And it doesn't make sense to me, okay? I have a set of ducks that have come back to the farm. Now, this is their second season. And the first season, I was like, please get out of here, okay? If you guys actually go back, look at some of the original videos, okay? I showed them in the videos, pointed them out, even showed the baby ducks that they eventually had at the farm. And they lived up under one of the buses. Well, they came back this year. And they're going to have baby ducks this year. And my piggies have had babies several times, okay? Nature seems to do just fine. It's when we interfere with things that it seems to go awry. And I got to ask myself, should I just let nature take its course? It's a long-winded way of getting to this point. That the Salisbury hog farm is going to be a hog farm, like I've said right from the beginning. Okay, it will be a functioning hog yard. Okay, that's what it will be. That's never going to stop. Okay, but now here's the thing. It can be a functioning hog yard and probably actually be more profitable if the name were changed, disassociating from what it was. Okay? Is it my pride that gets in my way? Is it my determination that I don't want to fail on something I start? That I don't want to see something fail that I gave life to? Is it worth just constantly putting time and money and effort into when it's pretty obvious? It's pretty obvious to me anyway. What's the point? Because in the end, you're only going to end up giving and giving and giving. And I'm going to be honest with you, okay? In the last video, one of the last videos I put out, I had made mention exactly what it would cost to paint those buses. Okay. I can offer my time and I can offer my energy. Okay? I can even offer, which is now a cat will be out of the bag, but I can even offer to kind of take the brunt of it from somebody who may not even like that idea. But I was willing to take the brunt of that to make it move forward. And I made mention of how much it would cost and all the things that would be needed. Now, the rest of it was common sense. I mean, you know, people that live around that farm, they see the size of them. I mean, it's a school bus, right? I mean, you know, it doesn't take a genius to understand how big a school bus is. Not one offer. Not one comment. Nothing. So, you know, Tom Clark, you know, if you guys follow my videos, you know who he is, okay? And, you know, some of the comments that he had deleted through a debate that we had through Catch a Pig #2, excuse me, was that this hog yard would be shut down within a year. It would fail. Blah, 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 and more and more. Okay. So, as I mentioned, the folks that are now kind of handling this situation, I'm going to encourage that they change the name. And that's for self-preservation for them, financially, their future, their kids. Okay, because we get to a certain point where you gotta weigh what's on the line against what you could get versus what you might only end up with. Okay, so like I've said before, I'll make the choices that are tough that nobody else seems to want to make in life. I don't have a problem with that. I just have to be aware of the question. So my channel is going to change. Okay? Folks don't seem to be too interested in how it turns out at the Salisbury hog farm. Not enough to give a damn and care and get involved or be interested or, you know, offer the slightest bit of help. So, I think, as it were, I'm going to